Guys, we're back. Genuinely, it feels like such a long time since I've been able to just sit down and do a dedicated chapter review, and one where I wasn't scurrying thinking about, oh, I have to do this in advance because I'm about to be traveling here or there. This is a chill review for a great chapter in my opinion. Not absolutely amazing or hype, but just really, really fun. Look, even the hat is back. And for anyone wondering, yes, we're still in Harold and Loki's backstory. It's peak. Did I say Harold and Loki? Sorry, I meant Rox's backstory. Because this is going to be, of course, the chapter 1158 review. But before we get into the chapter, y'all, you know what to do already. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content just like this every week, and share it around with all your friends who love the series. You know we always say here, let's get it going. Oh, and also, make sure you subscribe to me and my boys over at CSY. I'm waiting. Now, starting us off is the fact that the chapter title itself is called Rox vs. Harold. And if that wasn't immediately interesting to you, it will be. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the most shocking part about this chapter, the most quote-unquote hype, may have been the cover story. I think that's the first time I've said that ever. But nah, we finally get revealed who the person that Yamato and the others were praying to this whole time. Reportedly a pirate of justice, Kozuki Moria. And I'm just, what? Because I'm just like, where do we go from here? People want to say, well, wait a minute, does that mean Moria is related to the Kozuki family in some way? Obviously not, because the way that One Piece names are written, the first names come last, just like, Japanese. So obviously Kozuki is the last name and the person's first name was Moria. So then of course you would want to say that, well, the Moria that we know was just named after this person, but even then that's a question as to why. Because if there's one thing that's for sure, Oda didn't have to do this. He could have made him any random name and any random person. So the fact that he gave him the exact same name as Gecko Moria, who we've seen in Wano before, that means something. And trust me, this is about the most praise I'm going to probably give Yamato's cover story. So the chapter actually starts off on the Roger pirate ship, the Earl Jackson. And here we just have the Gooner pirates at it again, bro. Roger's entire crew is just like, hey, we heard that Shaki is over there on Pirate Island. Let's go get her. Everybody's like, yo, Roger, what are you waiting for? Like, give us the order, man. We'll go. Let's go claim her. Whole time you just see Roger with this hat on, just sighing against the railing. And Gaban is just looking there like, what's wrong with this guy? Before turning to Rayleigh, putting an arm around his shoulder and is like, yo, don't you think that something happened to Roger between the time that we were usually seeing him and then after you guys had your talk? I'm already knowing that you two said something that you don't want the rest of us to know, but come on, let me in on it. Rayleigh's just like, we didn't discuss anything important, get out of my face. But that's when we get a flashback to why Roger is upset. And as it turns out, of course it's for Gooner reasons. This man is upset that in the midst of battle, Shaki handed Rayleigh a note that says, come and make me yours. Now, first of all, is this overly freaky on Shaki's part? Absolutely. But Roger taking it too far. He talking about, man, I thought she was sick. You're telling me that she just doesn't care about me? Nah. You tweaking. And you tweaking even more if you're trying to tell me that you not interested. You need to back her for the good of our crew as a whole. Which I don't know how that works, but hey, Rayleigh did, so some must have worked. Even Rayleigh's like, listen, I'm not saying I don't like her, but I ain't like that. I'm not a dog like you. And that's when back in the present, Roger snaps out of it and is like, hell no, I ain't giving up. We're going to Pirate Island immediately because I absolutely need to claim her now. Pirates are all about plunder and we don't stop till we get our prize. Ain't that right, boys? Which, Oda, that's absolutely diabolical in the current century that we live in. But listen, hey, if there's one person who can make that sound unproblematic, it's probably Roger. So all his crewmates are happy again as they head towards Pirate Island. Mind you, I purposely did not say who was saying what in the Rogers crew because I just don't care about the fodder members of the Roger Pirates. I'm sorry. And it's shocking for me as a person who really usually loves this kind of lore stuff to say that, but I just don't. We learned about them in the most recent SBS, and besides Millet Pine being a employed torturer, nothing really happened. Though we did learn that apparently Max Marks is the cook of the crew, which I only know because it was not revealed in the most recent SBS, so I wonder what the point was, but who cares. We then cut to the Room of Authority, where we have a young Garling meeting with the Gorosei, talking to them about something. But wait, we actually know what the something is. It's the next hunting games. The Gorosei are like, Garling, can you relax, bruh? The last one just concluded. Why are you already fiending for another? But Garland's like, nah. You don't get it. I was just at another island on my way back, and we absolutely have to take it over. beside the natural resources, there's something there that the Great One would absolutely love. First of all, Garling has been moving like a conqueror. This man is terrifying. Why is he pressing the Gorosei? Secondly, it seems that Imu's existence is definitely more known about than we had initially thought. Because at that time, Garling wasn't even the commander of the God's Knights, it just says he was a member. So it seems that everybody in the upper echelon of being a world government member kind of knows, and maybe just the Gorosei are the only ones to see the true them or something like that. But Garling is like, you absolutely have to have the next games at God Valley. Mind you, right now, this is 40 years ago, so the fact that we're getting this close to God Valley times is actually interesting. And remember this timestamp, 40 years ago, because it's very important for two things down the line in this chapter. Next, we cut to Hachinosu, where the majority of the chapter takes place. You got, of course, people fawning over Shaki, like, please, will you let me be your dog? No, I'm not cooking personally for you. I don't know you. Random fodder pirate 75? But of course, she's so bad that people don't actually care. And then we turn and we see that Rox is smiling all sheepishly and deviously. And Shaki's like, oh, Rox, what happened to the times when that smile was for me? Indicating that that smile is for somebody else. Mind you, all the girls around Rox, like Big Mom, is just like, oh, yep, see, that's a woman's intuition. We all know what it is. And the fact that it's Big Mom, the one who's just been popping out kids, is very telling of what it is. But very obviously, Rox just got it on with whoever Blackbeard's mom is gonna be. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Blackbeard is currently 40. And in case you need to be spelled out, Stussy literally says the guy is grinning like he's expecting a kid. So yeah, maybe we're about to see who Blackbeard's mom is. But also, that means that because it's not Shaki, my idea of Shaki being Blackbeard's mom is unfortunately dead in the water. And then we have the Roger Pirates barging into Hachinosu and just being like, Shaki, we're here to see you. Rox gets in his face and is like, Roger, how many times do I have to tell you? Get the hell off my island. This belongs to me. And Roger's just like, be that as it may, you know the rules. If you're heading to Shaki's bar, nobody is fighting. We're all chill because we're all trying to get customer service. Whole time, everybody's wondering about the line because it was backed up. How the hell did you get in? Of course, Roger and all his people beat them up. Meanwhile, Whitebeard just heads out. He's like, these people are way too loud. I'm dipping. So you have Shaki just being all flustered like, oh my goodness, is Rayleigh here? And Roger's just like, no, he wasn't feeling good, so he's taking a nap. But I am. But before anything else can happen, that's when Gloriosa completely jumps on Roger. She's like, I know you came to see me. I've finally been waiting for you. But this is when we learn Roger is a college student. And by that I mean he has the emotional maturity of a college student. He's just like, I don't like it when girls are easy. That shit boring. But if it was Shaki, oh my goodness. The only difference between Roger and a college student right now is that he's saying it to her face. Actually, some of y'all may have done that. Y'all are evil. But of course, Shaki is just sad that Rayleigh's not here and just like, I'll pass. But anyway, the merriment continues. They're all singing Binks' sake, and at some point, even Shaki just simply faints. And that's when it's explained that Shaki had put up the rule that if you're trying to go to her place, nobody is fighting and everybody be granted safe passage. However, on the seas, all bets were off. The way that it's paneled makes it seem like the next scene is about to be Roger versus Rox, right? Not yet. But what we get instead is a huge battle between Rox and Harold. Because by this point, Harold has completely folded to the world government. Rox is just like, man, I used to think that you were somebody to respect, but you're disgusting. You would really offer up your entire nation to the world government on a silver platter. This is blasphemous. Harold is just like, how can you, a criminal, possibly know what I as a king have to go through? And of course, as they're clashing huge rounds of Conqueror's hockey is just spewing off everywhere. But as they fight, that's scrap. But that's when Rox is like, nah. You know what? All the invites are over. You won't hear another invite from me again. I don't want somebody like you. And Harold is like, just as well, because I don't want to be with you. I've been saying that. It still seems that they had fought to somewhat of a standstill because it says that there was no conclusion of that battle. And then it says that Harold and Rox will not meet again for some time, not until a very particular day. I just want to comment on the little scene with Loki and Moda, because Moda's just like, you know, Rox isn't coming back here, Loki. And Loki's just like, shut up, hag. And then she's like, you want some juice? And then Loki is just pouting. And then it's like, okay. Like, he's such a kid. We need to protect him at all costs. Well, I mean, he can protect himself, but you know what I mean. And then we have it. 39 years ago at God Valley, 2 babies are here crying. The village people mention that they're gonna help the mother take care of the kids because the dad is away. And of course, these twins are revealed to be Shanks and Shamrock. End of the chapter, no break next week. And this is how I know that Garling is diabolic, because he essentially knocked up this woman from the village who, mind you, the fact that we're not getting a title card or anything means that she's probably not that important. But you know, he's a celestial dragon, so he doesn't care. He likely seduced or tricked her in some way, considering that it doesn't sound like she's sad that these children were born. But you already know that Garling is the type to be like, okay, you are trash, so I don't give a damn about you, but I do care about the sons that you bore me. They're gonna come to me. And then that's how the twins are gonna be separated, where Shanks was put in a treasure chest but ended up on Roger's crew, while Shamrock was taken back to Mary Jo. But no, overall, I really did like this chapter. It was just so fun. Like, genuinely being able to see the dynamics between all of these great pirates way back in the day, to see that this is basically just high school for them, or like college. Like, nobody in any of these crews against each other actually seemed like genuine enemies. And again, this puts into perspective what was going on between Rox, Roger, and Garp that made them have to fight in such a way. And it's building up for God Valley really well. In fact, we're literally 1 year out, so will we get some of God Valley, or at least the context of it, next chapter? It's at least very likely. And again, it's not like anything truly hype happened in this chapter, but it was just a, chill, feel-good chapter. So I'm rating it personally a 6.5 out of 10. A lot of people think that's bad, but no, that's really just, decent for me. But I want to know what you rated, so definitely let me know what you think about this chapter and more in the comments below. Now, this is the end of the review, y'all, but before we go, like it, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends who love the series, or anime and manga in general. As I always say, I'm trying to build a community, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all from me. I'll catch you on the next one, and always remember, one piece, one life.